Hello and welcome to Alaska. I was going to make a review on this ship using this replay, but it's been around for so long that everyone knows how to play in Alaska. When we get tier 9 ops, if we get tier 9 ops, I will make a review. Because odds are there'll be a lot of new players probably picking this ship up. And Sans Containers or Black Friday. Now, the reason I'm highlighting this one is because something stood out to me when it was pointed out to me. So, I'm divvied up with Thunderer and his Jaeger, Commander Dodge and the Jean Bart. Wolf, one of my friends, said in port, "Hey, you're in PQ's video." I was like, "Which video?" He said, "His Eugen video." Okay, what was I in? He said you were in your Alaska, and I was like, "Oh, yep, I remember now," because I had only done like one video in my Alaska that in the last like 2 weeks, and I found the video, and I was like, "Oh, it is potato quality." Now at the time, I didn't think it was potato quality. I just thought it was an Eugen, because oddly enough, you remember the days when people would say, "Oh, hey, potato quality," or "Hey, not sir." Well, no one said that. No one said that.
Enemy force sighted on the horizon.
So, it was hard to know if it was him. I remember the days when I would say, "Hey, not sir," and because you can recognize not sir. But potato quality is a little harder for me to recognize, let's be honest. And he was saying in his video that he didn't really have a team. Yes and no. He did have a team. It's not a really good team. As you can see, just by looking at it, his Gneiss now is on the 9-10 line. Not the best. Definitely not the best. And then you see the Abukis on the 9-10 line. Now that Baltimore gets away with a lot of side. Unfortunately, Shimanto showing her a nice broadside. We should really not getting a nice beautiful salvo on him. Nice 14K. Unfortunately, he beaches and then he goes dark. Meaning we can't get a nice follow-up shot. And that would have been a beautiful salvo. And our Z says, "You should be dead." And he's like, "Oh yeah." Probably because he was taking torps or gotten spotted, but he is right, he should have been dead. I mean, the Baltimore got away with a lot of just doing, stupid stuff. That he should have died, but he got real lucky. And I could have shot the Shimanto, but you can see he's angled to me now, so it wouldn't really matter. So I go after his buddy after I take this shot, because again, his buddy goes first. So, and Alaska's always been a cruiser killer. And I just get over him. 9 guns and just 3 shots.
Torpedoes astern.
Then you see the other Shimanto.
Torpedoes to port.
I aim where he would be, but I think he turns out even more. Because I think he saw the shells coming, which was a lot better than his buddy did. Now, their Pablo, Emilio, Yolo's our Shimanto. PQ is going to charge in and kill the Zeiton. And their team's going to have the control of C side, because the Asashio may cap it, but he's gonna have to run. Like, see, he decides to run because the Casteris is there. He knows, I gotta run. There goes PQ killing the Zeiton. So their team is basically wiped up that full side, and we haven't even taken A yet. which isn't great for us. Let's be honest. It was like, and this is where I kind of get PQ for saying he didn't have a team, but at the same time, from my perspective, he did have a team. It wasn't a great team, but it was a team. And it did do its job of holding us up for a bit. I just don't think his team didn't capitalize on their advantage they had. Like, you see, 3 of their ships went up the 9-10 line when they should have been, you know, on the 7 and 8 line. The 6 line. Somewhere around in those areas. So they could have been able to take advantage of that. Because when you're on the 9-10 line, you gotta go all the way back across. Like PQ is on the 8-9 line, and he has to basically drive all the way back across. That takes valuable time. And we finally killed Baltimore after so long. Now I've got a Strongnorth on my left, I've got a Iowa on my right, and I got an angle to some of them. Now that we've finally picked up A, we can start actually moving in. Jaeger's gonna kill the Scharnhorst. We angled into Scharnhorst shells, but we walked right into Torps. And there was a gap I could have fit in. But since I had to decelerate, there's not much I could have done. So that took 30,000 on health off. And then the Iowa misses me. I think he was shooting a Gino.
Well done, Commander.
We return a nice 7K. We knock out 10 of his AA batteries. So he's definitely running survivability on his guns. And we will kill him with that shot. And I'm turning away because I know there's a Kagero there. I don't have a lot of health to go hunt this Kagero. Even though I am a radar cruiser. I have HE loaded and I'm turning my guns. I want to get all my guns turned around. But I also know that I don't know where he could be. I know he's near. I know in my gut he's near. So I pop it anyway. The Rook had his guns ready for the shot. And he fires. He gets a nice, big, good, chunky salvo on it. And then my shells finally connect and pick him up. So that was very thoughtful for the Rook.
Much obliged, Commander. Affirmative.
And you see that PQ's team has finally crossed into the B area. The bad news is that they've taken a lot of damage. Most of his team that was on the 8-10 line is healthy. And I mean, it's up for debate whether or not he had a team or not. Let's be honest. It's up for debate. In my case, or in my opinion, he had a decent team that just made tiny mistakes.
Enemy cruiser detected.
Now, the Yo-Yo is charging in on our Jean-Bart, and he asked me for radar. The bad news is, I had to use my radar on the Kagero. So, it's one of those flip coins. Do you try to protect yourself or save your teammate? Because you can see the YOLO Emilio is pushing in. We get a nice 2,800 on that, on the Casteras, and that helps our Jaeger and the Jean Bart out. Turns back in. We get another nice. Dodge picks up the Emilio, but the Emilio takes him down in return. I should have tried to help Thunder on that Jaeger more, but oddly enough, he is actually doing really well against it. And as we all know, Jaeger doesn't have any guns. It has guns, just not great guns. And yet he is still going to kill the Casteras. That has better guns, radar, and a smoke. And you see PQ is now kind of ducking and dodging, running away. I mean, he has no choice. He does come close to killing me, though. But I come close to killing him, too. So, neither of us get what we want. Now we pick up Coordinated Kraken and Brothers in Arms. So, awesome. Armor Piercing does 8,000. And then we get a nice 11. So that's like 20k on that broadside guys now. Then he finally turns his guns at us. Now, this is where I'm like, what the hell? I think I aimed a little too high. And I get 9,000. And then the Rook snaps it from me. And I'm like, argh! I could have had 4 kills. Now, for some reason, Potato Quality drops Torps on Rook. You've probably seen his video where he drops Torps on the Rook. And then he goes after me. Why me? There's a battleship to farm. I guess he knows I'm the bigger threat. Because he can burn down the, well, Rook. Now, I DCP this one fire. Usually you don't DCP one fire. And he was saying it was real lucky that he got the fire on the first shot. We do pick up Confederate and shoulder to. Had we had Halsey, we probably could have killed PQ. And I have to turn all my guns because I need to get him down. Because I know my deck armor can't take his HE shots. So I'm trying to use all my guns to try and get him down as quickly as possible. It's worth it. He's gonna chunk my health either way with his HE. So I realize it's worth it. He does turn a little bit, and we get a nice little chunk. I have a heal. I have a repair on 15 seconds. There's the Torps. Rook is gonna take 1. Ibuki shoots me, misses, and then shoots the Rook. Right as my shows are right out, and I get denied that kill. Again, if I had had Halsey, I probably could have gotten it. So, if you have Halsey, run him on Alaska. I'm gonna die. I'm dead. I'm thinking I'm dead. But the Ibuki undershoots me. And then I go dark. Because I know I'm a one-shot. I'm one-shot. And I wait for him to commit, because he's angled at this point. He'll bounce my shells if I don't aim right. He shoots, then he finally turns. Then you see him turn his guns back to me. But by that time, he's dead. And we pick him up. And we pick up shoulder to shoulder. Significant amount of credits. Decent amount of free XP. 151k, 4 kills. We pick up General Offensive, Confederate, Strike Team, Shoulder to Shoulder, Dreadnought, Brothers in Arms, and Coordinated Kraken. Literally every division skill or an achievement you can get, we got in one battle, which is a rare thing to do. Now, if we had been able to kill the Guy-Eisenhower and Potato Quality, we would have had 6 kills and a Kraken. But we end up with 2482 for our base XP. Thunder is at 1592, and Dodge is in 5th with 1500. Potato Quality top on his team with 1266, and picking up a Confederate. As you can see, Potato Quality did do the majority of the damage to me with 16,000. And then, sorry, And then another 9,000. So literally, he was the one that took the last majority of my health away. It was literally 2 ships, Kagero and Potato Quality, that took all my health away. 2 ships that took all my health away. It's interesting. She's a very tanky cruiser, but yet doesn't take much to put her down. For some reason, I don't know how, but we got 43,000 spotting damage on that Iowa. I don't know how we got that much. And then we got 13,000 on the Kagero. So that all helps a lot. But again, we just barely missed getting those 2 kills, which was unfortunate. But we still made a nice 700,000 profit. And since it was a 21-point commander, we pulled a decent amount of Elite Commander XP. So it was a win-win in my book.